Welcome to the 2019 Baldies Awards. These are the deliberation videos. Let's see if I can say that. It's tough. We intend these things to be watched sort of after you watch the Baldies ceremony. So if you haven't seen that yet, maybe go check it out and then come back if you have questions or want to see the whole process. Maybe wonder why we voted a certain way. This is where you'll get all that information. Also, we're going to spoil every single bit of everything on this list. So if you haven't seen it all, don't watch this. If you haven't seen every piece of television and film that came out this year, you probably shouldn't watch. That's not true because this is actually not intended to be a comprehensive list of everything that came out this year. It's actually just everything that we saw, either one of us saw, that came out somewhere between January 1st and December 31st, 2019. So if you're wondering, oh, why didn't X get included? It's probably because we didn't see it or it didn't come out this year. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's check out the Baldies.
Okay, we have Best Female Actor category. The actor categories are a little different because to be eligible, you have to be on a television show that Jim and I watched. Movies don't count. Those are arbitrary rules of the game. We don't distinguish between comedic performances, dramatic performances, starring bits, guest starring bits. So in practice, this is actually the best female actor in a dramatic starring role, usually. On television.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. And I like thinking back at all the different performances.
Yeah.
Let's start with Emily Watson. She plays Alana Komyuk from Chernobyl. She's at the top. She's going to stay at the top.
Sure.
It's pretty good.
Not for long, though, because Maggie Gyllenhaal is a beast.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is as Eileen Candy Merrill from The Deuce is going to go above her because she do we want to kind of get these in rough order and then talk about them?
Yeah, we can do to the top.
Okay, let's just do the top. Okay, Margarita Laviva as Abigail Abby Parker from The Deuce. To the top.
I feel bad for her.
There's a lot of
because
top.
she's an excellent actor who does not have anything flashy to do in that series for the most part.
Right.
She is there as almost a utility character in most cases and plays sort of second fiddle to Vincent.
Yeah, she's a little bit of an audience, I guess, maybe an audience surrogate. Like you're supposed to like what is an like a person from a more standard middle class upbringing. Like what is this person who gets dropped in the Deuce? What do they make of it?
She definitely has her own story that she's playing out, but like it's outshined, I think, by the sheer opportunity for better performances in other roles.
She's one of the main cast that's not trying to get rich off the Deuce. They're trying to like do right by the Deuce.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting performance. But like, yeah, I don't think she goes to the top because we're already at the top, and I don't think she's better than Emily Watson or Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Emily Mead as Lori Madison on The Deuce, though, I think we can comfortably send her to the top.
She can go to the top.
I'm not even sure if she was the best female actor, not the best female actor on that whole damn show.
Could be.
Elizabeth Shue as Madeline Stillwell, The Boys. Pretty good, memorable villain role. Had some really interesting emotional work with a demented Superman character. I really like Elizabeth Shue. She's I've always had a bit of a crush on her. But this is stiff
What about her
competition.
with the spider head?
Well then, yeah, to the bottom. Send her to the pit of fire. I think she's fine where she's at.
Okay.
Shore. I just looked this up. Sheree Agdashloo as Christian Avasarala from The Expanse. Unleashed this year. The full gamut of fucks and cocks and shits. Like, she's no longer on basic cable. She can talk like Avasarala is supposed to talk in the books, and she's pretty glorious.
Yeah, I think it served her well.
She's also playing. This is the first time I've seen her actually vulnerable. She's always been the power behind the throne. Now she's on the throne, and it's harder to get things done by fiat when you can't just move behind the scenes and use people as pawns and discard them when they're no longer useful. I thought that was a pretty interesting place to see this kind of career politician, power player.
Yeah, she was almost in a supporting role this season, though.
Yeah.
Because of how little screen time those other stories were given.
That makes me think that she doesn't need to be sent to the top.
Probably not.
So I'm fine with leaving her there and just seeing how that shakes out. Regina King as Angela Abar from The Watchmen.
She was also handicapped by just a really pitiful excuse for a husband.
Yeah, you're right. They really did Arjun dirty.
Yeah.
Well, let us send Regina King to the top, though, shall we?
Okay.
Because she was fucking excellent. Carly Chaikin
Yeah, Darlene.
as Darlene. And
Mr. Robot.
you want to? What about Grace Gummer right below her? Both of them to the top.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Carmen Ejogo from True Detective as Amelia Reardon.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
To the top.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got Ellen Page, who is fine as Vanessa Hargraves, number 7, Umbrella Academy. I think she's fine where she's at.
Yep. Same for Millie Bobby B.
Natasha Lyonne, want to send her to the top? She's starring role
she
in a
makes
comedy.
that series, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
Just her demeanor, her cynicism, and
You cast an average Hollywood female actor in that role, and it's immediately less interesting. She's exceptional. Sarah Goldberg as Sally Reed for Barry. Send her to
she's
the
strong.
top.
Yeah.
I mean,
Send her to the
again,
top.
comedy role. It's going to be tough, but we'll see how she does.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the same thing about Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag.
Yeah.
Amazing work. All the way to the top. How about Sean Clifford, who plays her sister Claire from Fleabag?
Less to the top. I mean, I mean, she's
What does
not
that
gonna-
even mean?
If Fleabag takes this, she's not going to be the one to get it.
So what do you think needs to happen here?
I don't think she's going to make the top.
So just
10 here.
leave her here then.
Should we change this to a numbered list?
Do we don't? Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
Bring some order to this chaos.
Yeah.
So we're fine with Sean being there.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Fabriga, Tati as from Los Espuques.
She's really good. She's playing a very odd character.
I'm gonna throw her to the top. And
Okay.
you know what? Also, how about Darcy Carden as Janet from The Good Place? Throw her to the
Is
top.
this the season where she played everyone?
Yes.
Okay, then she needs to go to the top.
Okay.
Because I thought she just fucking nailed every single character.
It's very hard to play those very different people, and it's about accent work. It's about gait and posture.
Oh yeah,
It's about tilting your head in certain positions, and she crushed it. It's a really, really impressive feat of comedic acting.
Yes.
And then finally, Edie Patterson, Judy Gemstone from The Righteous Gemstones.
I like her. I don't think she's going to go to the top though.
Okay, so she's just you just want to leave her there at the bottom, Jim. Okay,
Sure.
All right. Seems like you're doing your girl Judy there dirty, but
Well, it
who
was
who am I to
stiff
judge?
competition this year.
You're right. It is very stiff. It's very competition.
I mean, I'm going all the way down to number 13-ish as people who deserve to be nominated. So
Yeah. Okay. So this is so this is some interesting shootouts at the beginning. Anna Fabriga as Tati from Los Espuques versus Darcy Carden as Janet from The Good Place. That's a tough. I think Tati's better because it's a wholly original character where Janet, like, you couldn't do this in season 1 with Janet. You need to know Janet and what the capabilities of this sentient intelligence are before something like this is available.
and you need to know all the other characters. that
What
she's
the hell would
playing,
they
like-
get up to with Tati in season 3 of Los Espuques is what I'm wanting to know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So,
Are they doing more of that show?
Huh?
Are they doing more of that?
I don't know that it's been officially, formally, but probably. I
Producer
heard it
says
was.
yes.
Oh, okay. Producer's
So-
saying yes. So there you go.
Producer knows all.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the foundation. Like you need a foundation to do Janet.
Yeah.
In The Good Place, and Tati is building that foundation. So
Which in my
I think she's
mind-
better.
Seems more like an argument for Janet than Tati.
It's more of an argument for Janet the character.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I love Darcy Carden. She's pretty amazing.
I do too. I feel like those are swapped. Like Darcy Carden.
Really?
Yeah, just the range required for that is extremely impressive in my mind.
That's true. I mean, we like like Anna Fabrega could be a female Danny McBride, and we just don't know it yet.
Right.
Like, could she do something beyond other than that Tati character?
I don't know. I've never seen her before.
Okay, so I'll swap that just for argument. We might revisit that. Maybe we won't.
Okay.
Everything's at play here in the Baldies. How about Phoebe Waller-Bridge? To me, we're talking about supporting stars, and now we got a main character, and they just can't compete. She goes to the top.
I agree.
It's going to be a weird year if comedy takes the top. But so now we're at Sarah Goldberg, which is another. I think
she's okay where she is.
Yeah, I was trying to just put her in. She's it's an ensemble cast other than like Barry is clearly the star.
Oh yeah,
and everybody else kind of revolves around him. But she's a main star. But I think she's not going to be able to go higher than this.
I agree. Tati is a more difficult performance. It's maybe not as nuanced, but it's more difficult.
Natasha Lyonne from it might be is it Leone or Leone? Either way,
I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Either way, as Nadia from Russian Doll, she's going to march up.
Yeah,
I say she's better than Sarah Goldberg. Although that's tough because Sarah, as we discussed in our discussion about Barry and the deliberations on comedy, she did just really good work. So it's some tough, emotionally demanding work.
A couple of big standout moments for her. But I don't want to put too much emphasis on just a flash of a moment.
True.
Because I do think she's good throughout the series. I think Natasha Lyonne makes that show. There's just like I find it hard to try and even think of someone who could replace her in Russian Doll. Whereas Sarah Goldberg, I think there are quite a few other actresses who could have pulled this off.
Where do we think about her and Tati? I think she's better.
Yes, I agree.
What do you think about her and Darcy?
I kind of think Natasha goes up.
That feels right to me. And if
that
we were
might
just
be the wall.
if we were just dealing with comedy, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're about to get into the drama.
Yeah.
Carmen Ejogo.
Man.
The first fully, or I guess, attempt at a fully realized female character in True Detective.
For Nick Pizzolatto, yeah.
And pretty much crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Like a great sketch of a relationship between a man and a woman. Great sketch of a person of real raw intelligence and using their skills as kind of a journalist and investigator and educator to
and the strength that she projects into that character without it coming off as like any kind of anger or like there didn't feel like this character. It felt like the character came by their strength, honestly, and like Carmen just was able to embody that.
And they hit just like her, like, and the other thing is like Mahershala Ali's performance would be less impressive if it was against a person that was not of Carmen's caliber.
Oh yeah,
like she really brought the fucking thunder. So I'm going to send her all the way to the top. What do you think about that?
Well, let's do it for now. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
When things get sticky.
Okay. I think there is an argument about because like what Phoebe Waller-Bridge was doing on Fleabag is super fucking impressive, and she was carrying the show. Where that's not quite the case with Carmen, but the drama usually trumps comedy. It sucks, but there it is. Carly Chaikin from Mr. Robot.
I know you're not as taken with her performance as I am.
I don't think this was as strong a year, except for the episode that you hated, the airplane episode.
Oh, right.
That's her best performance. I think she did some amazing work there. I don't
really. I think she did a lot of good work around.
I guess I was thinking the panic attack in the bathroom. That felt like just very visceral and real.
I think there was a lot of good work done between her and Grace Gummer, and they almost sort of move in a pack in this list, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because they played off of each other.
Okay, first of all, Grace or Carly, which is better? Neither one. This isn't the best year for either one of them. Like, season 3 had a lot more for them to do, I thought.
I mean, Grace did a hell of a job in season 3.
But she also did a really good job, but she's just more subdued and haunted up until, you know, she takes her shot at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think it might just be a quirk of the show. Not trying to take anything away from Grace, that Carly is better. She's a more prominent role.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the order I would put those two in. Certainly.
Okay. How high do they rise?
I want to put him above Sarah Goldberg. Oh, you're stacking them way up there, huh? Just kicking the comedies to the curb.
So I took these and I moved them up 3 spots to between Natasha Leone and Darcy Carden as Janet. I might move her. Actually, maybe move her underneath Janet. I don't know. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they didn't make me laugh once this year.
Yeah, when we get to the male actor, Rami, sorry. He didn't make us laugh at all.
Yep.
It's not true. Him getting hit by a car was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. The whole chase sequence.
Okay, let's keep moving for now.
Okay. Oh, geez.
Regina King.
Regina King to the top?
Yeah, she can go to the top and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But certainly deserves to be mentioned in those terms.
All right. Let's... Who do you like better? Okay, this is a shootout. Emily Mead versus Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I always...
Don't make the obvious shooting gun joke. Come on.
No, I'm not. Always Maggie Gyllenhaal crushes this role. She's done it every single season. I think Emily Mead has too, but I've never quite been as impressed, and I don't know why that is.
Yeah,
last year was a really strong Emily Mead.
Emily Mead dropped my jaw with her exit from the show.
Yeah.
Because it was not unexpected, but at the point where I was expecting her character to take a different trajectory, and then she went the other way, and it immediately made sense, but it was just shocking and tragic, and I've never seen an actor do that kind of scene with that choice where it's just matter of fact and like, oh, before I can change my mind. And it was chilling how, it's just, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm thinking of like, what did Maggie do really well this year? She had a really good scene, the relationship between her and her son, and her trying to like turn the corner between a problematic mom, but a good one, just trying to give good advice and keep her son like from making, some terrible mistakes of his own. That was really good. I remember her and that lady in the feminist kind of support group. And like that was all filmed where like you think Maggie's just going to come into these bitches and like blow them out with how amazing and libertine and smart she is. And then they're actually kind of have her crushing into the grip of reason. And the way she played that character, like wanting to get her back up and defend herself, but also like, you know what? I'm going to hear these ladies out was really good too.
Mm-hmm. She did some good work opposite Corey Stoll this season.
Yeah.
There was a lot of nuance, just very subtle emotions that she had to portray.
Right. And that's another thing with Corey Stoll's, like a lot of times I'm like, man, who's right here?
Yeah.
And it's almost like I don't think you can judge a universal right or wrong. It's like from Corey's perspective, she's wrong. From her perspective, he's wrong. They're just not right for each other.
And then even some of the stuff with Harv, like I don't know, their relationship like blossomed and didn't blossom this season.
Yeah, and he made that fatal miscalculation, or like maybe as a desperate gamble like this that like completely changed their relation. Yeah, some good stuff.
She just does very subtle work, like until she gets to a scene where she just absolutely has to blow the doors off, and she does every time. I'm trying to think of the scene where she blew the doors off this season, because I can think of the ones for Emily Mead. There were a couple of them, like the you know, her demise, and also a couple of scenes with like the porn producers.
Yeah,
on
where
set,
she,
and, like,
you know, we'd seen her as being like, you know, well, when she gets in LA, she's going to be have so much more power, and we found out it's not
Yeah.
true. But honestly, Maggie got to do a lot of that stuff too.
yeah,
Like
toward the end.
yeah, towards the end, where she was like kind of trying to grub for cash to get this movie made. She got to do a lot of the exact same stuff that the Emily did before. So I don't know. I was actually going to fight for Emily being on top of Maggie, but I think you might have talked me out of it.
I'm really just in the bag for Maggie here. Like,
Well, and also
just been
she's
so
just
excellent.
the Deuce is, man, the Deuce is an amazing show. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a Cliff Notes version of The Wire, honestly. It makes almost all the same points. Okay, so you want to move them up? Where do you want to move them to?
I mean, I think to the top,
To the very top? Tippy
Yeah.
top? Okay. There we go.
and we can talk about it later if we need to.
Okay, do we want to improve Emily Watson? So Emily Watson plays a composite character who essentially are all the other Soviet scientists that are not
Jared Harris.
Jared Harris.
Whatever
Thank
his
you.
name is in that.
Yeah. So
Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov.
she's good. There's like, I'm thinking of some standout scenes of her where early on there's like the firefighter's wife who is trying to stay by his side, and like the nurses are kind of like sympathetic, and then she comes in and like blows them all up, like, what the fuck are you doing? This is a lot of times where she was trying to hold Jared Harris is interesting because like the role that Jared Harris is playing to the Politburo, where it's trying to like inject reality and like, look, you can't worry about the politics and stuff. I found out he's playing she was playing the same role as that to him, because like, you know, he'd go in there and try to deal tough with all these Soviet bureaucrats, and then he'd come to her and be like, you know, you got to be reasonable and you got to make accommodations. She's like, no, fuck that. It's about the science and the safety and lives, and she's really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But
my gut feeling here is that it's a fairly boring role. Like, there's nothing super exciting about the role, and therefore the performance can't be anything but utilitarian. But like, I don't know, how many others can I say that about? Like,
yeah, no, like, she did her job, and if this was like an average actor, the role would have been much less interesting and more forgettable, and
Yeah.
she made something of it.
yeah, you're not wrong about that.
But that will get you very hard to advance past where you're at right now,
Yeah.
because you're going from like guesting role to like this is a true supporting character.
It is.
So
Yeah, I think she's fine where she is.
Margarita, do we want to do anything with Abby Parker?
I also feel the same way, very
Same.
similarly, about her role.
I'm feeling the same. Actually, I think we're done with the top 10, honestly. I think we got a good top 10 here. Do we want to like no, sure.
Yeah, we need to
no,
talk about some
Ellen,
more of
Millie Bobby
these.
Brown. Yeah, I'm fine with the top 10. Okay. We've already decided that Emily Mead is not that Maggie Gyllenhaal narrowly edges her out in a deuce off.
I think so.
We got that.
Now
But
we
here's the
get to real
thing.
questions.
Regina King is better than Emily or Maggie in season 3 of The Deuce versus season 1 of Watchmen. Like, what the work she did versus her husband, both in his regular form and his glowing blue one. The work she did in the flashback episode where she was playing her own grandfather. The work that she did where she in a single episode she sketched a relationship with Don Johnson that had me questioning the basic fact that was staring me in the face about Don Johnson the entire time. So it's like, you know, why the fuck is he doing this? Why the fuck is he doing this? That's pretty special. I think it's better than either Maggie or Emily.
Ooh, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah. I think there's something about Regina King's performance in this that does not strike me as particularly believable. And I know...
What do you mean by that?
Like, there's an acting quality to it. Whereas Maggie Gyllenhaal and Emily Mead both feel, and it may come down to just the scenario, the show itself, right? Like, these are two fundamentally different shows. But like something
you might be onto something, because as I'm sitting here listening to you think that or say that, I'm realizing that I liked her every man, every woman quality and her kind of like what the fuck at all the insane things. But like when you find out that she's been secretly married to Dr. Manhattan the entire thing, her being in disbelief at a lot of situations she's found on kind of plays hollow. And I'd have to go back and watch the show, but like they make a lot of her just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? This is crazy. This is crazy. You're married to Dr. Manhattan, who has a forget-me-all portal stuck in his brain. How can anything be cosmically insane when something like that happens?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just that. It's something about what Regina is bringing to that role that doesn't quite strike me as like, this is, I don't know. Does it sound stupid to say this is an actress who almost understands exactly the role she's playing, but Maggie Gyllenhaal understands completely that role? Like she somehow just felt like she slipped into the role more effortlessly.
I don't know. She's also had 2 seasons more to get in that character.
That's true.
In like a decade and a half of the character's time. Whereas I guess they play a similar amount of times, but everything's so compressed.
I don't know. I don't know how to rank these just because they're so different. They're so fucking different. The Watchmen is nothing like The Deuce. And therefore the performances that come out of it are nothing like The Deuce.
Right. When was the last
I almost
season?
think it's easier to compare like Carmen Ejogo to the work that Maggie and Emily are doing in The Deuce.
I can't remember because I can't find it, but did not Regina King outduel Carrie Coon in season 2 of the Leftovers?
I don't think so.
Really?
Pretty sure that was not the case. What year would have that been? Baldies 2017?
2015? No, 2017 was season 3, which she was barely even in.
Old? 2016?
It's 2015, I think. Yeah, no, Regina King got #1 over Carrie Coon.
Damn.
In 2015, so it's like,
I wonder if that was because we knew that Carrie Coon was going to do even more excellent work.
I think Regina had a lot more to do in that season.
I think you're right. Yeah, that was not the season where she's jumping on the trampoline. That was the season before.
That was the only thing she was in season 2. It's like
I was confusing those two. I was like, what the fuck?
Murphy's arguably the star of that season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's better, but it's a subjective thing.
It is.
Let me ask you this. Who do you got, Carmen or Regina?
See, here's where I think we have an interesting conversation, because Carmen Ejogo is doing very similar stylistically stuff to Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I think they both could be in contention for #1.
I was going to suggest a Carmen. I don't know. I think I like what Carmen's doing a little bit better than Regina King, but it's so hard because Regina, it's such a fucking. Regina King is a fantasy, or Regina King as Angela Abar is a fantasy character in a science fiction show.
In a very weird science fiction show.
Whereas Carmen Ejogo is a very grounded performance of a very particular, and they both honestly deal with a lot of like, kind of race and society. Because that was one of the big things, is like the glass ceiling that Mahershala's character was feeling, that he couldn't rise above, and state police of Arkansas. Less accomplished but genial white man was always advancing over. Like, there's a lot of like, they said stuff subtly, or not even so subtly in True Detective. But it's like, it's like kind of like, if Shora was doing as good a work as president of space and Expanse as like Maggie Gyllenhaal, you'd probably still give Maggie the one up because, it's just a better role.
I know. I always have trouble separating the role from the performance from the show,
and like your own biases, inbuilt biases about genre.
Yeah. I treat serious shows with more respect.
Yeah.
And The Watchmen is, in my opinion, not a very serious show. It has serious subject matter, but it's a ridiculous show.
Fantasy show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with putting Carmen above Regina, but I kind of think Carmen should be. I don't know. Like you're really gonna fight for. Are you really gonna fight for Maggie to be in the top spot overall?
No, I'm saying out of like
Because if
were to
neither of
take,
these women make it over, I don't think anyone else is.
yeah, we'll have to talk about it more. But yeah, my big question mark is Carmen Ejogo or Maggie Gyllenhaal at number 1 right now.
Okay.
Because I think both of them are doing just outstanding work.
Oh, man. So do you think that Regina is better than Emily Mead on The Deuce?
Okay.
Because I do.
Jesus Christ.
Clearly, I do.
Yeah, you obviously do, and I'm inclined to go with that because I do think Regina King was great. I think
she had a lot more standout episodes and scenes
and she's got a far bigger role. Like,
yeah,
she's the star of that show.
The Deuce is a fucking ensemble. Like, once you get out between like Maggie Gyllenhaal is A1 plot for the ladies side, and you know, fucking what the hell, Vince. What's the guy's name?
James Franco.
Thank you. James Franco is 1A on the men's side, but like it's a true ensemble. It's like The Wire, you know. Okay, so boom. All right.
I think I'm pretty happy with that top so far. The top 4 so far.
And now we're back in the comedy zone. Did we discuss whether Carly or Grace Gummer can get above Phoebe Waller-Bridge or Natasha Lyonne? Because I say no.
I agree. Yeah, no.
Okay. And we've already decided that like Darcy Carden and Anna Fabrega from Los Espookys and The Good Place can't get above Carly and Grace.
I think because their roles are less starring roles. Because I like Carly Chaikin certainly is a star of Mr. Robot this season. Grace Gummer, you can make an argument that she is a star because a lot of the plot in the episodes revolves around her this season.
What if I told you Darcy Carden is as Janet's better than both of them?
Damn, like I might like that. Like if this was a season of The Good Place that did not include her doing spot on,
she had a showpiece episode
impressions of every character on the show, I would say no, you're crazy. But damn.
I think that Janet is like the Amos of The Good Place.
Yeah.
Where she's not the star, but she's my clear favorite.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really love Janet.
So we want to do something
I agree with that. Yeah.
That?
I could get behind that, yeah.
Okay, so as it stands,
but I really think that's where it stops.
We got Maggie Gyllenhaal as Eileen Merrill from The Deuce at number 1. Carmen Ejogo as Amy Reardon from True Detective. As True Detective. At number 3, Regina King as Angela Abar from Watchmen. At number 4, Emily Mead. Laurie Madison from The Deuce. 5, our first comedy. This might be the first comedy in the top 5 of actor ever. Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Fleabag from Fleabag. 6, Natasha Lyonne and Nadia from Russian Doll. 7, Darcy Carden as Janet from The Good Place. 8, Carly Chaikin as Darlene from Mr. Robot. And 9, Grace Gummer as Dominique Dom DePiro from Mr. Robot. And 10, Anna Fabrega as Tati from Los Espookys.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge feels like she's getting the shaft because, yes, it's a comedic performance.
Well, who do you want? I mean,
but I'm having a hard time.
I will entertain her being higher than Emily Mead, but I'm going to have a real hard time.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with Emily Mead even because she's so fucking good.
Yeah, like did Phoebe Waller-Bridge blow her brains out in Fleabag? No, she just walked
she got
away.
A little healthier.
She just walked away into the blurry background.
Yeah. What she's doing is really fucking difficult. I just want to talk about her for a second because we haven't.
Okay, yeah.
It's really hard because she has a lot. She's got a focus that is split between us as an audience and the character she's interacting with in the show. And she flips back and forth with those seamlessly and rapid fire in a way that's like really hard to do.
And she does some things that are pretty indefensible and vile, like both that we come to appreciate and like she's like, imagine
Fucking the priest is like seducing this priest is pretty fucking vile in my opinion.
well, like stealing your best, or like not even stealing, just like fucking your best friend's boyfriend just because to feel something, which later causes your best friend to kill herself.
9 times guy?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Oh wait, your friend's boyfriend.
Yeah, this is something you missed in season 1.
Oh, okay.
Like what I'm saying is like she's essentially in a lot of ways D from Always Sunny, except for you can't. She's not a terrible person. That like this is because she's messed up from her. Her mom died young. Her dad was well-meaning, but he just didn't have the skills necessary to raise these girls, and as a result, her older sister became this overbearing, like parental mother figure, and she kind of like was left to twist in the breeze, and she's D from she's D from Always Sunny, but she's more relatable. She's got a backstory that makes you feel sorry for her, but it's very hard to do to play that like kind of bad character that you kind of root for to do bad things, but also you don't ever turn against her. You can't get her to like Walter White levels. And I think that's a very hard thing to do.
And she has a standout moment or two, like I mentioned, that confessional scene. She brings everything she needs to bring to that, and it's fantastic. And I do really appreciate like the way she's flipping back and forth between addressing us as an audience member and also the characters in the scene.
And she did the whole kit and caboodle.
I know.
She fucking wrote that thing. She directed a lot of it.
It's
based
impressive.
on a one-woman or a play that she did. Like she's very, very. At the same time she's doing this, she was writing Killing Eve, which is another amazing. Unique. I mean, its reputation so falls off in season 2. I haven't started season 2, but like she was doing all this at the same time. Like what a creative. What a level of creative output and work ethic. I mean, I honestly don't know how she did it. She had one of those time turners like Hermione from the 3rd Harry Potter movie. Can I make an argument that Natasha Lyonne might be too high? Because as far as I can tell, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of her, but she's essentially playing the same character she did in Orange is the New Black.
This is the argument I'll make when Danny McBride comes up.
This is she's Danny McBriding. She's Will Ferrell. It's a fantastic character.
Yeah, and it needs to be, like I can't imagine anyone else doing this.
That face, that eyeliner, that hair.
Yep.
Is doing like half the work.
That voice, like the chain smell, like
right.
All of it is working.
But there's a lifetime of shaping that went into it. Like.
Yeah,
it's a lifetime of living and craft that went into this performance, and you got to recognize that too. Like you're not paying the locksmith $100 because it takes him 5 minutes to unlock your lock. You're right. Paying for him learning to unlock the locks and driving out there at 3:00 in the morning.
All the people who had him unlock doors before paid for that, and I'm just paying for the 5 minutes.
Right? Exactly. So I like I said, you can make an argument that like you're. Maybe valuing that too highly, but it's a really good character, and it's a role that suits her like a hand in glove.
I guess I don't feel bad about this list.
I feel pretty good about it. Top 10 strong.
It's real strong.
There's like different tastes. Like I said, if it was, I think I would go Carmen Regina Maggie. Or maybe Carmen Maggie Regina.
Wow, really?
Yeah. But I don't know, because again, you're talking about 2 one and dones versus a character who's been built over the course of 3 years.
Yeah. And
that it's not a penalty. It's definitely a boon, but it is what it is.